Hello and welcome back to World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition. My name as always is Maxwell, and today I'm going to be showing you some scouting gameplay. Now, despite the title of the video, this isn't going to be a tutorial on how to scout. More like it was just a couple of games where I had some pretty successful scouting. And so this is just going to be me giving you general tips on scouting as the games progress. If you really do want an in-depth guide on scouting, I'll put a link in the description to my first ever tutorial I did on YouTube over 2 years ago, which was all about how to be a successful scout. It was recorded on the PC version, but obviously all the information contained within is pertinent to the 360 version, so don't think that just because it's on the PC it doesn't apply. It absolutely does. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link in the description. So here you can see me setting up on Malinovka in the side bushes, and this is a really good area just to spot anybody who decides to let off some shots. So you see I've got this T-40 dead to rights in my sights. I don't take the shot because I don't want to reveal my position. Because as soon as you fire in this game, you lose a hell of a lot of effective camo rating. But with them only being on half health and no one else taking them out, I figure that I'm going to be safe to take some shots. And what I was going to do is just drop back behind the terrain like that, wait for my camo to kick back in, and then move a little bit further down the swamp area. And this is basically what you want to do, because light tanks don't lose any camo rating when they are moving, unlike other tanks. So you still have 100% of your camo rating whilst moving. Spot out Lux here. I'm going to have a little bit duel with him. As you can see, this is a technique that you can use well as a light tank. Is you have a shot and then back off or advance, and then have a shot and then back off or advance. And what that does is it just keeps you as a moving target. You'll see it happen a few times in the next match as well. Because you don't have the armor or the hit points to back you up, you've got to keep yourself safe. So have your shot and then move, then stop, and have your shot and then move and then stop again. And it has the added bonus of stopping the artillery from being able to hit you. Always play as if you are the full 100% focus of the artillery, even though most often you won't be. So because I'm down the ridgeline here, I figure I've got a safe position to fire from. Obviously I didn't do that full damage there, but I am able to pick up the kill. And like I said, because I'm down on the protected by the terrain, I feel safe doing that. So these bushes here where I'm at are really, really good to use on Malinovka if you can get in here with a light tank. Another thing I want to say is bushes. Don't sit right in the center of a bush. If any part of your tank is poking through the front of the bush, then you aren't getting any camo bonus from that bush. If you can draw a direct line of sight from your tank to an enemy tank, because you're poking through a bush, then the bush does not count. You need to be excuse me, you need to be completely obscured by said bush, so it needs to be in front of you. As you say, that's why I'm stopping before the bushes. And you also need to be within, I think it's 15 meters of a bush. If you're further than 15 meters back from a bush, then again it's not going to provide any camo rating whatsoever. We've got a T-82 just YOLOing across there and getting himself taken out. So I've done a little bit of spotting out here. I can't really hurt this T-14. That's why you see me really taking my time with a shot there. And then once you've shot, just drop back again. Because our AT-2 has moved up to the very center of the map, I think I'm going to advance a little bit further. Although the AT-2 is there, the Panzer 38 NA does have a longer view range. So it's not like he's going to be stealing my my spotting damage. Because you do earn credits and experience if you are the person who spots an enemy and then somebody else damages them. You earn a portion of the credits and XP from that. Just going to have a few shots at this Matilda, try and get some damage on him, but I don't think it's going to happen considering the thickness of the armor this Matilda has. And again, I just want to drop back into the little valley here. Just because I don't want to get shot from the base as I'm trying to fire at this Matilda. So I get a hit on his drive wheel there at the front, which keeps him tracked, but I don't really think I get any damage on him whatsoever. So with that all dealt with, it's time to move forward. You will notice that it's pretty slow going here, and that's just because it's a swamp area. And what you want to do is just keep scanning around in front of you, just to make sure that you haven't been detected yourself. We find the Sturmpanzer 2 here. I'm going to advance up to these bushes here because they offer great cover, and I'm going to try and get a shot on this guy, but he's there we go. I was going to say he's just behind the wooden barricades there, but I'm just able to get a hit on him, and then I think our artillery takes him out. And as you can see, we've got the enemy pretty much. We've got this game in the bag now. They've only got a heavy tank and a tank destroyer left, and we've only lost 4 tanks. Excuse me. So it's time to rush now, but they do have an AT2 and a T14. So from the front and sides, I'm not really going to have a good time getting much damage onto these guys. But it's just a case of still our team is playing really, really defensive. And as you can see, most of our team's still actually in our base or only halfway down the route here. But basically, I just want to keep these guys spotted. T14 goes bye-bye. Find the AT2 here. And he's turned side on, so I'm going to try. See, there's just nothing I can do. Even shooting his weak spot at the top there just bounces. That's the weakest point of the tank. And I can't even put a shot through there. So it's not really going to be much luck for me here. And he turns this direction, so it's just a case of getting the hell out of there for me. But that's pretty much it for this game. We've as you can see, we've got it in the bag. We've got it all won. And it's just going to be this AT2 left to take out. As you can see, even the mighty AT2, when it's the last tank on the field, there's not really much that a team can do. Especially from the fronts and sides. We're able to take him out in the end. Was able to get his tracks taken off, which kept him immobile for a little bit, which is nice. We're just going to have a look at the score. So you might think I didn't really do much in that game. I didn't get a fantastic amount of damage. I think I only picked up 2 kills, and one of them was pretty much just a kill secure. But as you can see, a really good amount of XP there, 2.5k with the multiplier. Decent amount of credits, and if we have a look at the... see there, detected 4, destroyed 2. Good amount of spotting damage, and you can see there, really, I think I come second out of total XP there. So we're going to move on to the second game now. So our second game is going to be in the Panzer IV, not a typical scout tank, considering that it is a medium tank. That does mean that it has a lower overall camo rating than a light tank, and not only that, but when it moves it loses its camo rating. Well, not all of it, but it loses a good portion of its camo rating. And when it fires, it loses a good portion of its camo rating. So, not a typical scout tank, but if you play carefully and stick to the basics, can be used effectively as a scout. The reason I'm going to be using it as a scout tank, you may have seen the score screen at the beginning, is because this is a tier 7 match. I'm in a tier 5 without a particularly powerful gun. I think it's got 110 penetration, 110 damage. So it's not a fantastically powerful gun. So first off, I'm going to be heading all the way over the left-hand flank, and that's because that's one of the best places for a scout to go in this game. Find a Panzer 38 NA, and I just drop back there instead of going all the way up to the ridge, just to make sure he didn't spot me, because he has no idea that I'm here. When you get within a certain distance of a tank, you spot them by what's called proxy, that you just find them by stint of being close to them, and by driving up to the ridge, he would have proxy spotted me. And as it was, he didn't, and as you can see there, just dodging out the artillery shell, doing the same thing that I did in the Panzer 38 NA, which is having a shot, then moving, and having a shot, then moving, and that's one of the most fundamental tactics you need to get into your head and get practice of when you're driving a light tank, and especially a scout, is fire, move, fire, move. Well, really with any tank, you always play as if you're spotted by artillery. So I'm going to have a little bit of a slugging match with this E2 Sherman. Unfortunately, the armour on the E2 Sherman's pretty formidable. I'm just trying to find a weak spot here. It's been a long time since I came up against an E2 Sherman, so I wasn't brushed up on my weak spots. Luckily, though, I did keep him spotted long enough that my allies were able to take him out. Do spot a Wolverine across the way there. But again, see, playing as if I've been spotted by artillery. So I'm going to have a shot at his turret because it's the weakest point, and I was hoping I could maybe get a cheeky ammo rack there. I make a little bit of a mistake here. I should really have had that shot and then backed off, especially because I saw an artillery tracer fly up into the air there. Luckily, he either wasn't firing at me or he missed. And after having that shot, I dropped back because I think that's a T-23 in the river, which is the Tier 7 medium. I think I'll be able to get some damage on him. Yeah, I'm able to put damage through his front plate just because he is only a medium tank. And as you see, having a shot and then moving as the artillery comes in, and that's just the major thing. If you can get used to doing that in this game, then you're on to a winner. Basically, move after every shot. If just so you don't get hounded by the artillery. So, with this flank 1, that's basically what you do on this map as a scout. Is you head over on this left-hand flank, you get in that bush there, and you spot all of the tanks for your allies to shoot down as they come across here and come through the little valley there through the water, and you're able to pick up a lot of spotting damage there. I was just having a quick look to see if I could get anything on that guy in the centre, but unfortunately not. So I'm not just going charging forward, because I'm waiting for the rest of the team so we can all move forward as a single line. Because the last thing you want to do as a scout tank is get caught short out in front, because you definitely don't want to be. Well, you do kind of want to be leading the charge in the early game, but as the game progresses and everybody's all over the place, you definitely don't want to be caught out in the open. So spot out this Churchill 1. I'm going to see if there's anybody who can get shots on the right hand side, but unfortunately there isn't. We do find an artillery piece here, so I'm just going to try and take him out, which indeed I was able to do. And I'm going to try and get something on this Churchill 1 here. Unfortunately, I missed the side of his turret. And by the time he comes up the way, he's a lot better angled. He's able to get some damage through me. I think he's only got that... no, I think he's got the bigger gun. He doesn't have the 6-pounder. And at the moment there, I'm just having a look over the top to see where his gun's facing. Now, I'm not sure I'll be able to get consistent damage on him, so I'm just going to try and take out his tracks. As I see his turret move towards me, so I try and back out of there. Unfortunately, I was way too late. As soon as I saw that turret start to move, that's when I wanted to try and back away and get out of there. So with only 40 hit points left, there's not really going to be much I can do here. I am just going to try and sneak up around the left-hand side of the cap circle, see if they've got any tank destroyers or even a heavy tank camping right at the back of the base. You normally do find somebody in there. I'm just going to try and get some eyes on anyone. But to be honest, it looks like this game's pretty secure at the moment. They've only got 2 heavy tanks and a tank destroyer left, and we've got quite a few, well, a lot more. As you can see, we're winning 12-6. It doesn't look like there's anybody really here capping. I don't want to poke myself into the base first, wait until somebody else does that, which he does there. So come forward and stick myself in the base as well. There we go. So it looks like the tank destroyer is actually in the centre of the map. So we're going to be fairly safe here as everybody just piles into the cap circle. Now normally I would have just gone off and tried to help out the allies and take them out, but everybody else was going to go for the cap circle and I only had 40 hit points left. So there wasn't really going to be much I could do to affect the game at this point. Saw a tracer shell come in, so we're just going to have a quick look just in case, because I'm probably going to be the first target with only 40 hit points. But as it is, we capture the base, and that is GG. I just have a shot there as the game finishes, and that was a pretty good victory for our team, if I do say so myself. So just as this one winds down, we'll take a quick look at the score screens as soon as they load. So as you can see, a decent amount of XP, 1500, and a decent amount of silver there. Let's have a look at the actual round there. You can see a lot of people had really good games there. I came 4th, but I got over 1,000 base experience, and that's all thanks to the spotting that I got done there. As you can see, the detected and the amount of damage, really. 800 damage is pretty damn good in a tier 7 game with a tier 5 tank. So that's going to be it for this edition of Xbox World of Tanks, or World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition. Forgot what game I'm bloody playing there. So that's going to be it for this edition of World of Tanks Xbox 360. Hope you took away some advice on how to play a more effective scout tank. If you did, then please leave me a like or favourite and stick a comment in the comment section below if you've got any questions or anything you would like to add to the discussion. And if you're not already, then please consider hitting that subscribe button for a lot more content like this in the future. I have been Maxwell. This has been World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition, and I will catch you guys next time.